February 22nd, 2024. A quiet morning in Athens, Georgia. A nursing student laces up her running shoes, sends her mom a quick text, and heads out for a jog on a familiar campus trail. She never comes home. This is the story of Laken Hope Riley, and the last run that shocked a university, a state, and an entire country. Welcome to CaseLore Crime. Before we talk about crime, we have to talk about the person behind the headline. Laken Riley was 22 years old, a nursing student at Augusta University's campus in Athens, Georgia. She had previously attended the University of Georgia, and she was known as a dedicated student, a runner, and a young woman with a quiet but determined spirit. Back in high school, she ran cross-country. Friends and family describe her as kind, driven, someone who wanted to help people. Nursing wasn't just a major to her, it was a way to care for others. On that February morning, she was just doing something completely normal for her, going out for a run. On the morning of February 22nd, 2024, Laken woke up and got ready like any other day. At about 8:55 a.m., she texted her mom, "Good morning, about to go for a run if you're free to talk." A few minutes later, around 9:03 a.m., she called her mother. For a brief moment, everything was normal, just a daughter checking in before a quick workout. Security cameras on campus later captured her jogging with her phone in her hand at about 9:05 a.m., and at 9:06 a.m., she's seen turning toward Oconee Forest Park, a wooded area near Lake Herrick on the University of Georgia campus. Somewhere between that turn into the trees and the next half hour, everything changed. Around 9:11 a.m., Laken's phone dialed 911, but whatever happened during those seconds, she was unable to complete the call. Her mother kept trying to reach her, calls, texts, but no response. And as the hours passed, worry turned into fear. At 12:07 p.m., Laken's roommate contacted campus police to report her missing. She had gone for a run and simply never returned. At 12:38 p.m., officers searching the wooded area near Lake Herrick made a devastating discovery. They found Laken's body in Oconee Forest Park. She had obvious injuries, and despite attempts to resuscitate her, she was pronounced dead at the scene. The University of Georgia hadn't seen a murder on campus in decades. The campus went from an ordinary Thursday to lockdowns, police tape, and breaking news alerts in just a few hours. Almost immediately, investigators from the University of Georgia Police and the Athens-Clarke County Police began piecing together what happened in that short window of time on the running trail. They pulled security footage from around campus. They traced Laken's route. They analyzed her phone and smartwatch data. Before long, they focused on a man who, according to police, had crossed paths with her near the trail that morning, Jose Antonio Ibarra, a 26-year-old Venezuelan national living in Athens. Authorities said there was no evidence that Laken and Ibarra knew each other before that day. This was described as a crime of opportunity, random, sudden, and brutal. Within about 24 hours of the discovery of her body, police arrested Ibarra and charged him with multiple serious offenses, including malice murder, felony murder, kidnapping, false imprisonment, aggravated assault with intent to rape, and concealing the death of another. Very quickly, the case moved beyond Athens. When it became public that Ibarra had entered the United States illegally and was still in the country while his immigration case was pending, the murder of Laken Riley was pulled into the center of a national political debate about immigration and border policy. Politicians mentioned her name. Commentators argued over who was to blame. But in the middle of all that noise was a simple, painful truth. A 22-year-old nursing student had gone for a run and never come home. In May 2024, a grand jury formally indicted Jose Antonio Ibarra on 10 charges, including 3 counts of felony murder, malice murder, kidnapping with bodily injury, aggravated battery, aggravated assault with intent to rape, false imprisonment, hindering an emergency call, concealing the death of another, and a peeping Tom offense connected to a separate incident the same day. Ibarra pleaded not guilty. Instead of a jury trial, he chose a bench trial, meaning a single judge would hear the evidence and decide his guilt or innocence. The trial began in November 2024 in Athens, Clarke County. Prosecutors laid out a detailed timeline of Laken's final run, using data from her smartwatch, security cameras, phone records, and forensic evidence. According to testimony, investigators found Ibarra's DNA under Laken's fingernails and a fingerprint matching him on her phone screen. Her watch data showed a sudden spike in heart rate and then a stop at around 9:28 a.m., lining up with the estimated time of the attack. The prosecution argued that he attacked her on the trail, attempted to sexually assault her, and killed her when she resisted. The defense tried to cast doubt on the evidence, suggesting it was circumstantial and questioning how the data was interpreted. After several days of testimony, the judge issued his decision. On November 20th, 2024, the judge found Jose Antonio Ibarra guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, the maximum penalty under Georgia law without seeking the death penalty. Later, Ibarra's legal team filed a motion asking for a new trial, arguing that the verdict was contrary to the law and the evidence. But as of now, the conviction and sentence stand. For Laken's family, friends, and the community, the legal outcome may bring some sense of closure, but it doesn't bring her back. In the months after her death, students, faculty, and community members held vigils on campus. Candles, flowers, and messages of love surrounded photos of Laken smiling, wearing her nursing scrubs or her running gear. Her name is now attached not just to a crime, but to calls for better safety on campus trails, to debates about immigration policy, and to ongoing conversations about how we protect vulnerable people in everyday spaces, like a simple jogging path in the middle of the morning. For true crime audiences, it's easy to get wrapped up in the twists, the forensic details, the courtroom drama. But at the center of this case is a young woman who wanted to help people for a living, who loved to run, and who sent her mom a good morning text just minutes before her life ended. When we talk about justice, it's not just about a verdict or a sentence. It's about remembering who was lost and making sure their story is told with respect. This was the story of Laken Hope Riley, her last run, the investigation that followed, and the trial that answered some questions, but left many people wondering how something like this could happen in the first place. If you found this video informative and you want more carefully told true crime stories, subscribe to CaseLore Crime, leave a comment with your thoughts, and tell me which case you'd like to see next. Until next time, stay aware, stay safe, and remember, behind every case file, there's a real person with a life that mattered.